legend in the pits, the only man ever to win this race 4 times. Age 48, looking for a 5th.
Yeah, this isn't routine, Jim. He's looking down inside. Look, it almost looks like they're trying to take the body. Yeah, they're taking the tape off that holds the last sort of detail of holding the body on.
Any ideas what that might be for? What's the problem?
No, I have no idea. I can't tell.
A tough month for A.J. Foyt. He lost his father, who was on his pit crew. Well, something has happened out there. Pat Bedard up against the wall, and that right front wheel looks like it's hit something.
Yep, that's the wrong angle for that wheel that's up against the wall.
Okay, we have another look at it, a replay at what happened to Pat Bedard on another camera.
Well,
isolated. There he is going into the wall.
That's how the wheel got that way, for sure. But now here he comes. Look at this. Jimmy came.
Bobby Rahal coming around him.
Rahal makes the most incredible avoidance. Look at that. That is some piece of driving. And the fact that Rahal's car could swerve like that is an indication of how well these cars corner because of the ground effects. They talk about ground effect being dangerous, but an ordinary car could never have swerved out of the way Rahal did.
You notice, excuse me, that he had his hand in the air as he was coming up to the wall to warn other drivers, presumably.
Yep. That's a lot of presence of mind. All right, now let's have another look at it. Bedard, this is the journalist that you spoke of before, Jim. He's a man with relatively limited racing experience, but no experience at all in Indianapolis. He gets out wide there. It's impossible to tell if it was a car problem or a problem in the driving compartment.
At age 41, he's the oldest rookie to make the field here since Walt Hangsgen quite a few years ago. You remember Walt?
I certainly do. There again, Rahal making it. Well, one thing for sure, we'll read about that someday.
It looks like day may be done, however, for A.J. Foyt of Houston, Texas. Out of the car.
Snyder steps out of his machine.
And you know, when you see somebody drop out of these races, it may look like, well, day is come back and try again next time. This is the end of a full year's effort on the part of A.J. Foyt, his crew, the people who helped him design and build this race car. They think, they experiment, they do everything they can, and suddenly it's all over. And you got to start for next year.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel somehow the race just isn't the race without Foyt. Do you have that feeling, Jim?
Every time.
Yeah.
In past years, one way or another, winning or losing, he always seemed to end up as the center of the story at Indianapolis.
Yeah, I don't know what could have gone wrong there.
Well, he's got other interests to occupy him these days. A fine racing stable not far from here at Churchill Downs. A.J. perhaps beginning to make the transition with the yellow flag still out here. Dwayne Sweeney, the flag man. There goes the car of Bedard. Let's go down now to Bill Fleming with A.J.
Well, another hard luck story, A.J. Doggone it, what happened?
Well, a U-joint, when I went from second to third gear, it just fell apart, and we don't understand why it did what it did.
How was it running up until that point?
Oh, it wasn't really performing like it should have been, but we was just kind of sorting through things, and it's been this way all month with me, though.
How is it out there as far as the driver's concerned, the condition of the track?
Condition's real good.
We're awful sorry about this month, A.J., particularly about your father.
It's been a bad month.
All right, back to you, Jim.
A.J. Foyt out of the Indianapolis 500 for 1983. The standings then, Al Unser still leading the race under the yellow, then Sneva, Rahal, Mears, and Bobby dropping back now to 5th place. We'll be back.
Back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is Jackie Stewart in Race Central. There are 3 cars out of the race so far. Chet Phillips was black flagged, brought in because he was going too slowly and withdrawn by his team. Another car out, of course, is Pat Bedard. You saw that accident. Pat Bedard's a journalist, as we recognize. He'll have something to write in his magazine next month for sure. And A.J. Foyt is out of the race. Sadly, he's not going to have his 5th victory here at Indianapolis. A sad month for A.J. Foyt because just a week ago, his father passed away. Now, the race so far, Theo Fabi has excelled himself, in my opinion. He's adapted to this Indianapolis Motor Speedway like a duck to water. I expected him to be tentative at the beginning of the race. I certainly did not expect him to lead in the first lap. Instead, he took command in the first corner and simply drove away from the opposition. A young man in a hurry with remarkable maturity for this first visit to the big brickyard. Now, his car is truly handling well, but one man's car is not handling well, and that's Rick Mears. It's understeering or pushing. Now, you might see here Rick Mears coming in to turn 2. When he's coming in here, you'll notice that he stays high in the groove. That's the black area. As he goes round the corner, he moves higher and higher in the groove. He's turning the steering wheel to the left, but the car wants to go on. That's what you call pushing. Now, right here, you can see it's starting getting out to virgin territory, almost a place where no other car has feared to tread, and, of course, getting treacherously close to the wall. Now, what can he do about that? He can adjust the car with a roll bar adjustment inside the car to try and make the car handle better. Perhaps when he comes in next to the pits, they could change tires, or they could change the wing settings, the aerofoil settings. But for him, he surely has to change, because if not, I don't expect him to be as competitive as I had hoped him to be. Now the green flag is out, so let's go back up to Jim McKay.
All right, Jackie, back in the booth now, and the green flag, as you said, is out. Al Unser still leading the race in car number 7, followed by Sneva and Rahal, Mears, and Teo Fabi. Al Unser, a 3-time winner. He won back-to-back in 1970 and 71, won again in 1978. Should he win today, he'll tie A.J. Foyt for most victories at Indianapolis with 4.
And, of course, A.J. is helpless at this point to defend himself, Jim, in as much as he's back in the garage.
Again, Tom Sneva in that white car with the red markings on it, car number 5. Yep. Tom Sneva.
Oh, yeah.
Starting to make a move on...
Wow.
Woof.
Wow. Some move. He just drove right by him. All right. Now, this is an interesting matchup. Been thinking about this all month. Between a March and a Penske PC11, I mean. And this is the new Penske car. You see from the inside of the car there.
And at first point, he has taken the lead. Unser back in front again. The lead seesawing back and forth then.
Oh,
Unser and Sneva. Watch Sneva now in the white car going down below. Unser coming out in front of him. I wonder if he saw him. The two of them side by side, and Tom Sneva in car number 5 has taken the lead at Indianapolis. 3 times he has finished second in this race. 3 times he sat on the pole at the beginning. He was the first man ever to turn a lap officially at more than 200 miles an hour here, but he's never won the race. He's never won it. There he is in first place.
Very good driving by both of them in this traffic, Jim. Very good.
In traffic right now, and Tom discussed that for us a little bit earlier.
What makes one driver different than another?
Well, I think the biggest thing is what he draws his fine line with. You know, we talk about the fine line between control and non-control, the ragged edge, let's say. And some drivers have to draw that line with a crayon, and some can draw it with a finely sharpened pencil. And I think that's the biggest difference between drivers is how comfortable, how close to the ragged edge they can run, and how long they can run there.
When you're in traffic, do you take account of the relative experience of the drivers around you?
I think it's very important for a driver. That's probably one of our biggest jobs, is having a mental book on every other driver you have to race against. It's very similar to pitchers and hitters in baseball. You have to know what the guy likes to hit, what he doesn't like to hit as a pitcher, and as a hitter, you have to know what kind of pitches that guy throws good and what he doesn't throw so good. So it's very similar in racing. You have to know all the other drivers. It's hard to have a very complete book on the rookie drivers. You just haven't been around them that much. So you have to anticipate the worst, give them the benefit of the doubt in certain situations, and try to complete the chapters in your book as the race develops, and stay out of trouble until you've got that book completed.
Tom Sneva, the former school teacher from Spokane, Washington, leading the Indianapolis 500 in his car number 5. Doing a very smooth, beautiful job. There is the lead car right there.
And you notice it's a March, of course, Jim, and he just got the better of the new Penske design. I'm trying to get this out. It's the PC11, and Fabi there just went by the other Mears PC11. The Mears in the other Penske PC11. So the Marches are getting the better of the new Penske designs at this point.
Fabi moving up again. Sneva leads. More than a fifth of the race has gone by now as we're on lap 43. Tom Sneva still leading the Indianapolis 500, followed by Al Unser, as you see, then Rahal, and Fabi in 4th place, followed by Rick Mears.